Welcome back. St. Paul Central High School has a new mascot. It was a student-led idea focused on better representing each and every student. Morgan Wolf spoke with some of the students behind the mascot makeover.
We're the oldest high school in the state of Minnesota.
Good luck.
The halls of Central High School have seen many students, but there's one figure that has been constant.
They came to me with the idea of this reimagined Minuteman.
Principal Charisse Ayers gave the green light for a project to redesign the school's mascot.
The CCC is Central's creative collective, and our whole thing is that we make a change at Central through art.
Sophomore Bernice got involved in the CCC and started helping recreate the Minuteman, a symbol from the Revolutionary War, soldiers that were ready for the call on a minute's notice.
How many years was this project in the works?
We literally started this year. We looked at Central's mascots, and we realized a lot of these mascots just didn't represent the student body of today.
The design purposefully made to be racially ambiguous and gender neutral, opposite of Central's other versions of the Minuteman in the past.
No matter what race you were, no matter what gender you were, you could just see a little bit of yourself inside the mascot. We thought the name Francis really worked because it's old-timey, but it's also still used nowadays, and then it's a name that could be used for anyone.
Francis is reimagined, which means that they do not want to get rid of the Minutemen from Central's past.
Minutemen is plural, so there's room for everyone. I think it's important, especially in this time, that we don't throw history away.
A student-led initiative to represent the students of today.
We're going to work to make sure that Central is truly somewhere people can look back on even when they graduate and go, wow, I was a Central alum, and be proud of that.
There's room for everyone, there's room for every story, and we don't have to be afraid or shy away from the past or from the future.
In St. Paul, Morgan Wolf.
We should embrace them both.
KARE 11 News.
The end of the school year brings back memories of a special fourth grade class that we featured 8 years ago in the Land of 10,000 Stories. We do have a wonderful update to share, but first, Boyd Huppert shares the original emotional story of Owen and the Paper Cranes.
Is everybody unpacked and ready for the day?
Listen. Listen closely. That sound coming from down the hall at Carondelet Catholic School is compassion.
It's become a normal noise in room 101.
Normal. In a year that's been anything but.
It was really scary for me.
Isabella Hobbs
Yeah.
wasn't the only one scared.
I was just scared about Owen, because...
Owen.
Yeah.
Owen Girton, their fourth grade classmate, found himself mid-school year in the battle of his life.
Owen was diagnosed on November 4th of 2016 with a brain AVM, which is a tangle of blood vessels in the brain that will eventually rupture.
Maria and Chris, Owen's parents, were scared too, for the worst possible reason.
Our niece, she was 14.
Their niece, Owen's cousin, Sawyer, died 2 months before Owen was diagnosed with the very same condition.
Had his burst, it would have been catastrophic, it would have been fatal, and it would have been instant.
Plans were already in the works for Owen's trip to Boston Children's Hospital.
Our classroom didn't feel like a class without Owen.
When teacher Kristen Rafferty
It was very hard.
read to the class an excerpt from a book about a Japanese girl with leukemia on a quest to fold 1,000 paper cranes.
As soon as we finished reading the story, one of my girls raised her hand. She was like, Miss Rafferty, can we make 1,000 paper cranes for Owen? I was like, absolutely.
We made them a lot. We made them at Read Aloud, we made them at morning meeting.
They made them at lunch, at recess, at home.
Our daily bread.
They made them at prayers, clutching Owen's teddy bear, who came to class each day in a school uniform to hold Owen's place.
You don't know what condition your son's going to come back in. And in hindsight, I just think it was important not to have not to have an empty chair.
I knew with this class that academics for a while needed to take a backseat. And maybe they weren't learning science, and maybe they weren't learning math, but they were learning compassion.
The first crane the children folded in Owen's favorite color sat next to the hospital bed in Boston as Owen recovered from 17 hours of surgery. And the rest filled their classroom with color.
It's a rainbow.
The splendid February day when Owen returned.
Thank you for everything.
3 months later,
Happy Tuesday, Madeline.
as the school year winds down,
Happy Tuesday, Madeline. Happy Tuesday.
Owen
Happy Tuesday, Isabel.
sits beneath the cranes, folded for him.
You know, we couldn't have known back in August, you know, that, God was kind of handpicking Owen's, teacher, and those classmates.
I love you all. And I am so proud of you. And as much as I wish you could stay, it is time for you to go.
School years like this
You're gonna be fine.
come once in a lifetime.
They're so special.
1,000 cranes,
Have a great summer.
a bear, and a boy,
Owen, have a great summer.
and a class,
Aww.
both ready to fly and reluctant to let go.
Great summer. Need one more hug. Okay.
Boyd Hooper, Carol 11 News, Minneapolis.
Have a wonderful summer.
Owen's class moved on, eventually winding up at several different high schools, but class members have continued to gather to mark the anniversary of Owen's diagnosis. Owen moved to Benilde St. Margaret's High School, where he played basketball, lacrosse, even football. Last week, he graduated as the recipient of the school's Faith in Action Award. Owen plans to attend Iowa State University, and check this out. Owen's fourth grade teacher, Miss Rafferty, she attended his grad party. Love that. Stick with us. More news and weather coming up after the break.